Good morning, Mick Kiely from Test 2000. I've been asked to present at this conference, but unfortunately due to other circumstances, I cannot attend, so I've put something together which will be shared with the group as a presentation. Just as an introduction, my history, I started on the railway as a labourer in 1989, and over the years I worked myself up to an operations manager. It was during this operations manager role that an unforeseen accident got me to change my views and mind on fleet. In 2008, the tragic incident was one of my colleagues was killed in a road traffic collision, and as the on-call manager I was called out to the scene, and I had the unfortunate circumstances of identifying that person in the vehicle. It took a lot out of me because I then had to go to the family with the police officer involved and explain the situation. Following this incident, I was taken back and shocked that there was no full investigation by our SHEC team at the time. So it got me thinking about our fleet, and what we can do to improve it and improve the driver's behaviour. I started to get involved with the fleet and spent 50% of my time looking at procedures, processes, and upskilling and updating them to see how I could make it better. As with everything else, implementing new policies and procedures, it didn't go down too well with not only the senior safety managers, the senior managers, but also the directors. So I had a battle on my hand for a few years. In 2016, I took on a new challenge as an operations manager for a different company, but made it clear during the interview process and the startup process that road safety was a priority to me. I got involved with the fleet, working with their fleet manager at the time. Didn't agree with a lot of the policies they had in place and saw that there was room for improvement. So over the next 2 years we worked together to try change this, but again I had some resistance. I continued fighting the case, and eventually the fleet manager resigns, so I decided to take on the role as a full-time fleet manager with the backing of that company. Immediately I started looking at their policies, reviewing them, improving them, for not only the company but for the drivers and everyone involved with fleet. Again, I had to get the SHEC department involved, but this time I found it a lot easier because they understood it under the Road Traffic Act 1974. A lot of the changes I made included driver training, e-learning practical, daily checks, which I got an app for. I had some challenges with toolbox talks, getting them briefed out because the staff were nationwide. There was also agency drivers, call-off workers, whichever you may like to call them. So with this app, we could upload the documents, send them out to everyone, and we could get a date and time and electronic signature for when they actually read them. This made a big improvement to the company driver safety and how drivers behaved. Had another challenge, which was grey fleet, because grey fleet people think that because they're not driving a company vehicle, they don't have to adhere to fleet policies. So we wrote a different grey fleet policy, and one of the lines that we stated in it was that if we don't adhere to our policies, we will remove the car allowance. This had 100% impact and everyone became compliant. As you're all aware, dealing with fleet, there are some challenges. And one of the biggest challenges I found at the time was getting resources to brief these drivers on, getting help with policies. So I started looking around and I came across Van Excellence. I started attending conferences and briefings, and then had the privilege of meeting Mark Cartwright, who was with Van Extens at the time. And Mark helped me and guided me along the way and provided the resources that I felt was needed. We implemented technology with the driver's app for the toolbox talks, but we also done telematics and dash cams, which again seen a massive improvement on the driver's behaviour. During that process, Driving for Better Business commenced, and I got involved through Mark Cartwright, who had moved over. And I can honestly say to this day, which I still use, it makes any fleet manager's job role simpler for doing the job. Again, we're changing the culture. You not only to change the culture of drivers, but also senior managers, and unfortunately, especially a SHEC team. We work together, and I made it quite clear that SHEC should be involved in all accidents and incidents regarding fleet, because the same policy should apply as it does with the Network Rail standards if there's an accident on site. This was a very positive outcome, and now we still carry it out where we have level 1 investigations for any road traffic collision. Our most recent one was in August of this year, which was a third-party fault, but on reviewing the dashcam footage, we found that our driver was actually travelling over the speed limit on numerous occasions. So we brought them in, had a discussion, and put them on a speed awareness course. I thoroughly believe that every company, you should use the data and the technology available to you and review it on a regular basis. We do it every Monday, because just having the data and not doing anything about it will result in more accidents. By implementing the changes, we've seen a massive improvement on the driver's behaviour. It produced measurable results from the insurance company with a reduction of 35% on insurance premiums, which we continue to get, and tests through the context that I have in the insurance business have one of the lowest fleet commercial premiums for vans in the railway business. Not just to reward the business, we decided that we would put some of these savings to a driver reward scheme for drivers. When we first commenced it, we were doing top four drivers a month, and they'd receive £100 vouchers. But over the years, we have now changed that, and we have it every quarter where 12 drivers, top 12, will get £100 vouchers. And at the end of the year, they all go into a draw for 4 prizes of £250 vouchers. This incentive has seen driver behaviour, speeding events, PCNs drastically been reduced. And there was a time that we had 1,000 speeding events a month, which we are now down to 120, which are more than 10% over the road speed limit. Not only that, by drivers getting rewarded, the company has seen recognition, and my previous company, because in 2018 and 19, the previous company won the Driver Safety Company Award by the Global Fleet Champions. In 21 and 22, current company Test 2000 also won the Driver Safety Company Award by Global Fleet Champions. And in 2022 and 2024, I was recognised as the Road Risk Assessor Manager of the Year. I'm very proud of this, to know that I had a hand in these companies achieving these stats and achieving these awards. Taking on the fleet management role has been demanding and challenging, has been rewarding, but not financially, because I actually took a reduction in pay to come from an operations manager to a fleet manager. But fleet management is more about just vehicles. It's about protecting lives, reducing risks, and making people accountable for their actions. I've also helped other companies, smaller companies, free of charge, reviewing their policies, and I've done the same with any supplier to test. So feel free to contact me if you need any advice. I believe that everyone should be involved in fleet, not just the fleet manager or the check department. They should go to the top, and if we all work together to get a safer fleet, we can save lives and save serious injuries. There is a lot more to be done. There is a lot that can be done, and I know companies are working through it. But my advice is don't ignore it, because the rewards at the end are very gratifying. I will try log in this afternoon to answer any questions you may have, but the presentation is available to all, and I'm sure Saul will send it out. Thank you very much.